Hey everybody, welcome back to
Hi,
another episode of Code Switchin Naturally podcast.
I'm
Uh,
AJ.
I'm Channy.
I am Professor X.
Sexy. Just a sexy
Good,
bald headed man.
good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. I'd say that out of order, whatever you know what it is.
Y'all know I know what it is. Y'all true to these.
And we are here, amen. We are physically present. We are mentally, we are mentally somewhere.
I'm trying.
We are
Okay, I almost
currently
tried.
yes, I am that day myself, and that's really all that can be asked of me. Don't ask me of any more. I ain't got it. Does anyone have a particular L of the week that they would like to share before?
Can we give the L of the week to the week? Like, if the week has been bad.
No. Let's give the L of the week to every person that was in that subway train.
Sure.
When that man was killed by being choked for 15 minutes straight. Let's get that. Let's do that. Let's give the L to them, because how can you as a human being sit there and watch this man just in a very, very deadly chokehold? The man was subdued after a few minutes, and the people that helped him, y'all can rot. I have big feels, and also the L goes to the internet for continuing to show the video. The person that filmed it, thanks, but go to hell. Yeah, I have big feels. All of them can rot. How I feel right now. That's probably not godly, but it's fine. They can rot. Because there's no way you're so far removed that you're okay with somebody killing a man because he said he didn't care if he went to jail. Call the cops. He wasn't putting his hands on nobody. So Jordan Neely, that's the baby's name. He ain't a baby. He's 30.
Oh.
You didn't see that?
I make a point to not ingest Black trauma.
You know what?
Yeah, I feel that.
Ain't that
unfortunately? Unfortunately, we live Black trauma every day, so you're ingesting it whether you know it or not. However, they say he got on the train.
I just don't like.
Yeah.
Not. I don't know. Like
shout out to Atlanta and the Atlanta area. To any of the people killed and or injured by the active shooter that was out there. And L to all of the people who still are like, it's not the guns, bitch, it is. It simply is. Like,
why do people have access to AR-15s? I will never understand.
Don't make any sense.
And it doesn't help that gun laws are becoming looser.
But the problem is drag shows, obviously.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah. Because remember the children. You have to think of the children.
I'm going to insert a clip because I guess we all, we don't really give a damn. The White House Correspondents' Dinner happened, and Roy Wood Jr. was the comedian that they had come in. He drugged them for filth in the funniest way ever. And he was just like, no. He was like, yeah, no. Your drag queens are not grooming children. I was like, He said something to the effect of like, no, they're just getting shot in schools though. But they're not being groomed at all.
See?
And then
Exactly.
he's talking about don't groan, pass legislation.
It's simply that easy. It's simply that easy. And yet, like, the number of times I've seen on the internet people in the galleries of like of their, not House of Representatives, like of the government buildings protesting for the shit that people are trying to pass into law. It's wild out here, and I simply do not understand. It's rough out here
Yeah,
for anyone
it's
who is
real
not
rough.
cis white.
I was actually just talking to someone about like a lot of the trans legislations that were just passed here. Even like it's
Yep.
getting dangerous to be associated with anyone who is trans. Like it doesn't make sense that like there's all this focus on all of these other like legislations, and people are actually dying because of legislations that are not being passed and things that are just not being focused on. Like the guns, literally, we are having mass shooting after killing after murder, and nothing at all.
Yeah.
No progress.
How many have we had this year? How many have we had this
Too many.
year?
More than
Too
we've
many.
had days.
Yeah.
Literally more than we've had days. Actual fact.
Actually, let's see. And they keep saying it's not the shootings. And then, not to mention what Don Lemon got fired for. And that man talking about Black people have gotten their freedom and how the NRA was a part of us getting our freedom. And Don Lemon was like, yeah, no.
Mm-mm.
I was so happy the day Don Lemon woke up and realized he was Black. I loved that day. Because from that day forward,
it's been nice to see where he's like, oh yeah, no, shit's fucked. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, no, Black people have it fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho,
not on Fox no more. Praise him.
Listen,
Oh Lord.
2020 through Jesus. Okay. Wow. Okay. There's an actual website called gunviolencearchive.org.
Yep.
Okay, so mass shootings in U.S. on a record pace in 2023 so far. $17 mass shootings. This was as of April 21st. It says 17 mass killings over 111 days. It has to be more than that.
Definitely the last time I checked, it was definitely way more than that. But then again, the problem with like,
hey, we're in month 5, guys. We're in the 5th month of this year. 17 mass shootings in 5 months.
No, I said that was as of April 21st.
So 4.
That's worse.
Correct.
It's that in a span of 111 days.
Right.
So we didn't mean to get on no.
I mean, it's pretty fitting for what we were saying we were going to talk about. So this is fine. So I guess let's get into the question. It's a heavy one, y'all. So just, buckle up. How do you, or how have you managed grief?
Depends on the grief.
It depends on the day.
Because we talk about,
Because there are different types for different
Yeah.
situations. Yep.
we talking about like people who have gone on to glory. We talking about people who are still physically with us that we no longer have relationships with. Like, what do we?
Let's talk about the difference of that.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between mourning someone who is gone versus mourning someone who has not.
I
Because
mean,
I feel like that's a very different kind of grief.
that is distinct. Also, I want to throw in grief of people that you are not personally connected to.
Oh, true.
What you mean by that? Oh, you like a celebrity or something?
Sure. Or the people that you see killed, like in the mass shootings,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like societal grief.
Okay.
So grief over someone who is gone versus someone who is still alive. The death of a relationship, death of a connection. That one, it's more abstract in a way, right?
It is. It is
Because, like,
because that person's, it's not like that person's dead. It's just,
right. Because you're not mourning them, you're mourning both what you had and what could have been.
what's weird is that the fact that I think when there's the death of a relationship, the world isn't, no one else is hit by the death of that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever someone, you can grieve with people. There are people that are surround you when people die. There are people that understand what's going on. They understand the situation. When you are grieving a relationship with someone that is still here, but that relationship is dead, you're just going through that alone. You are experiencing that death by yourself.
Right. Even if someone has gone through something similar, they aren't in that relationship. So they don't have the same connection.
Very much.
Which is what you can say losing like a family member. Like they understand. It's so weird. It's so weird because they do feel different.
It does feel different, especially when people that are around you still maintain relationships with that person that is still very much alive. They don't see that person's dead. It's very much an alive human being to them.
Right. I think the difference is you can still see that person. You still know that they're around.
Yeah.
When somebody dies, they're gone. Like
there is very little that is similar to the absence of an energy that is of a person just being gone.
Yep.
I'm gonna say it like this because y'all said things that I don't necessarily wholeheartedly agree with. However, correct. So, in my experience, it's and both. I'm grieving the person, what could have been, and what was. It's not as abstract to me as you were saying it is. It's grieving all of it because the person itself is no longer physically or in my life the way they once were. That's an issue for me. And you have to grieve the fact that that physical aspect is no longer there. So the person, you grieve the person, even though they're still physically here, you grieve the person and you grieve what was and what could have been. Nothing abstract about that. It is. Now, what is abstract is the process. because they say there's stages to grieving, and we can go on and on and on and on for days about the process of grief, but it's not linear. It's not okay. It's not a 12-step program where you go, okay, today I'm angry or I'm in denial, whatever the stages are. What's the stages? Y'all know the stages? What they said the stages was.
You know, my therapist said, fuck those stages, and I don't.
Correct.
Denial, anger, bargaining, something.
Depression?
Apparently.
No, yeah, one of them is.
Okay, so it says
acceptance.
denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. First of all, let me tell you something. The hardest thing, and probably the longest thing, you, in any of these different types of grief, you're never going to accept it. You are going to live with it, but never accept it. Because why? What? How? Like, yes, we know physically they are gone. They are never coming back. There's nothing we can do, say, pray to have their soul come back to their physical body. They are gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to accept that. My grandmother's been gone for over decades. I don't accept that. Do I live with it because that's a part of life? Yes.
Okay.
However,
okay.
and
Here's the difference there. You don't want to, but you have. You have acknowledged that she is gone. That is the acceptance.
That's not accepting though. I'm not in denial about it, but that doesn't mean I accept the circumstance.
What does acceptance mean?
Let's look at it, shall we? Let's get Webster's dictionary.
Oh,
okay.
Research.
You asked the question. Let's see, acceptance. It says the action of consenting to receive or undertake something offered. Or it says, the second definition says the action or process of being received as adequate or suitable, typically to be admitted into a group.
Okay. Now, if you can go back to the 5 stages of grief, see what that acceptance means. Because there's a sort of different context.
It says in the final stage of grief, you accept the reality of your loss. It can't be changed. Although you still feel sad, you're able to start moving forward with your life. That don't mean that I agree with that though.
What?
What do you mean what?
Like, do you don't agree with the definition, or you don't agree with the reality?
It's saying that you accept the reality of your loss. That's saying someone accepts the fact that this person is gone. Again, to me, I don't accept it. That's just what it is. I'm not in denial that they're gone, but that doesn't mean that I'm accepting of it.
I don't. You don't have to like it to accept it.
I didn't say that I didn't.
See, but that's I think where we're having the disagreement. You're just saying, no, I don't accept that. So you're going to change it?
No, I said it is what it is. I have to live with it. That doesn't mean that I have to willingly accept it though.
That's literally what you're doing.
Okay.
Saying
we'll agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree, but that's not the way I see it.
Saying it is what it is accepting it. What do you mean?
Okay, we'll agree to disagree. I don't feel that way.
Okay, well, we're having a conversation, so I would like to understand how you get to that point.
I explained that to you. To me,
okay. Well, Okay. Sure. Okay.
To me, I
Move.
don't accept it, but because it's inevitable and that's
Mhm.
what life is, it just
Mhm.
is what it is.
Which
But
is
to
acceptance.
me,
Which is
okay, so you think that is acceptance. I don't, and that's fine.
okay. Now, how is that different? How saying it is what it is? Like, what would be acceptance to you then?
Again, I just told you, I'm not.
Okay. I
I
get it.
think
I'm trying to
acceptance looks
understand what
different.
acceptance is to you so that I can see why you seem to see that there's a difference.
I think a lot of acceptance may have been it may be choice, because it seems as though there is a difference between like what is your own personal definition of acceptance. You have to kind of make it for yourself, whatever that would even look like.
Acceptance is, of to me, of like things that I'm willingly wanting to either admit, acknowledge, support, whatever. I don't consent or willingly or want to acknowledge death, but that's just a part of life. That's just one of those things you can't, with the stage of grief, you can't bargain with it, you can't negotiate it, you can't say, okay, well, let them stay for another 10 years. Like, that's just not something that you can do. Or especially if they're killed, like our cousin was, we can't like fathom that or make it make sense. There's nothing about that to accept. It just happened. I can't say, okay, well, I accept that. I can understand how that happened. Like, yeah, they got sick. Okay, but what made them sick? Why couldn't it be fixed? Why couldn't they have been here? Like that to me, I'm like, I'm not questioning it,
It
but
sounds,
it is what it is.
it sounds as though for you, your definition of acceptance would be a precognizance of some sort of offer. Life doesn't offer you things like death. It just
Correct.
happens.
Exactly.
There isn't
That
anything
don't mean
to
I have to
accept if you weren't
accept it.
offered it. Like
Right.
there's nothing to accept if you were not offered that thing. So I think I understand what you say, what you mean by that. There is nothing to accept. It was not a gift. It was not something given unto you. Death happened. It happened.
It just happens. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do to change it, make it come later. There's nothing I can do to be like, okay, yeah, this is fine. I'm okay with this. Like there's nothing in there that says, okay, hey, are you gonna be okay with handling this? Or are you gonna be okay with dealing with this? No, no one's ever prepared for it. No matter how much of a, if they get with our grandmothers, like we knew they were sick. There was nothing we could do about that.
Exactly.
However, there's nothing that says, okay, well, you're gonna have to accept it. No, I don't have to accept it. It just happened. I don't want to accept the fact that I don't get to call my grandmothers or I don't get to see them. I don't want to accept that. Do I have to deal with it and live with it? Absolutely. But no, I don't accept it. I never will. It just happened. So how do you live with that and move forward? That's how I see it. That's how I deal with it, I guess, if you want to say it that way. But I don't see it as acceptance. So I don't agree with the stages of grief at all, but they happen. Does that make sense, or do you still not agree?
Yeah, this is just the you getting home argument, just with a different face. I have decided, or I have determined.
No,
No,
that's
like
totally different.
no. The way that we are both looking at it, it's the same argument. So I see what you are saying, and it is one of those, it still doesn't make sense to me because it literally sounds like you're saying the same thing. You're just not using the specific word.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I think you're right. I think you guys are saying
we
I
are
think you
literally
guys are
saying the
saying very
same thing.
similar things, but I think there is an element.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will.
It's
What's
fine.
the element?
Listen, the podcast hasn't seen this particular side of us. Our brains are wired different somehow, and this is the part where they don't overlap, and we always get into these conversations where it's like there's just a wedge enough of difference.
What's the element, Channing?
I am deciding if it's my place to say or if you guys have to discover that for yourself.
Say it. What's the element?
There is a missing piece to what Quentin's saying that you are saying but not saying.
Okay. And what am I not saying?
No, that I'm not saying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
For you, acceptance, again, like I said, it comes with the precognizance that there is a choice. There was a choice offered, there was a choice given.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of forms of grief, that is not what happens. Life does not gift you things that are, hey, here's damage, take that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, do you want some more pain? You're not getting this offer. It happened. It happened. The choice of, you have the choice of, I will not accept this.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, it's not even necessarily even, I wouldn't even say it's pain, because I don't think it's still like, it doesn't
even
stab
with
you
the
in the
good
chest like it
things.
did back then.
Yeah, like it's not, but and even with that, there's some days where it does. Like it's always, it's like a never-ending cycle of, hey, let me remind you that this happened. Like
exactly.
And it's like, I didn't ask for that. I did not sign on the dotted line to say that that's what I wanted. However, us being born into life, we were given, we signed a contract. We were unwillingly forced to sign a contract the moment we were born. So whatever comes with this shit, it comes with this shit. So it's like, do I accept it? Fuck no. Did I wake up one day if I was gonna be in the situations that I was in or lose the relationship that I had with these people? No. I don't accept that shit.
Here's where I think the missing element is in how you decide to carry pain. And this is where I think it's gonna get really weird with my understanding. You carry pain like a balloon, and he carries pain like a rock, like it's heavy, and acceptance means I can put that down.
Yep.
Except for you, acceptance is this balloon. I can keep this with me, and I can keep going. I can keep moving.
Yeah.
If I can, I can keep it with me. I can carry this with me, and I can keep going forward, because this balloon is not going anywhere. It's not, I'm taking it with me. I'm choosing to hold this, but I can keep going with it. And you haven't decided to let go of the balloon.
No. Mm-mm.
There's no,
honestly,
there's nothing to say that like you have to let go of the fucking balloon. I mean, it's a balloon.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I've got a fucking rock garden.
Right, like he's got a fucking rock. So like acceptance for you is gonna look different. You need to put that rock down.
Correct.
to go get where you need to go. You gotta put that down. And some people, that's what it is. You need to put the fucking rock down. Somebody, everybody has their own version of the rock
Mhm.
that they have to put down to get where they need to go. Some people, pain is not their rock.
Mhm.
The sadness of grief and pain, that is not their rock. That is not their, that is their balloon. I can carry that. I can keep going. It hurt. Oh, fuck. It was a rock. It was a rock. It's a balloon now.
See,
I like the way you put that.
got a house like
That
up.
makes yes on a bundle of balloons.
Mhm.
I want to know how they not pop though. Like, how many balloons do you first of all, it's a cartoon, so we're talking hypothetically here.
Correct.
But like,
'Cause those they made it through a storm and everything. Them shit should have been
ain't no
gone.
way,
No.
ain't no way, ain't no way. And I don't even think even like I don't know if y'all remember like the beach ball balloons that people would blow up as balloons to kind of withstand storms better.
Yeah.
But I don't even think those. I don't think those can float like that.
I don't know how those float. I still don't understand the science behind that.
I don't think they can that long. I've never seen one float.
I don't know, man.
I've seen, y'all remember the stems, like the balloons where we used to like.
The ones with little
Quincy used to get so
yeah.
mad at me. Quincy used to get so mad at me because I used to be like, Quincy, look.
I used to slap the shit out of my sister with those.
I love you.
See this face? This is not a pleased face. So we've got the personal grief. How I got a lot more rocks when it comes to societal grief.
And that's where I've always wondered why for you.
Why?
Yeah, not because
you have such a heart for community that I don't think that you realize.
Correct. Like
I think that's what it is.
Like it's like it's grappling for you, like the fact that the world is so trash and that's like really hard for you to get past.
That's because I'm intersectional as hell.
Yeah.
I am Black and queer. Like, and I'm sure Tanny gets this as well. You know, you've got the
being Black, queer, female bodied, and non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
So
like,
yeah.
You know how they say representation matters. Seeing a lot of my fellows, like a lot of the people in the communities that I am a part of, be hurt is not the representation that I'm looking for, you know? Like,
it is extremely hard to be despondent when it's people in your own community, it's people that are in your face. Like, I know what it looks like to have someone like in my face, the death, like the after effects of someone getting beat up because they were gay. Like I've seen black eyes because of it. And I've seen it in my face. I could have been that. I could have been that person very easily. It's very hard to be despondent when I could be in that exact same position.
Yep. Like, I think the one that really did it for me was Philando Castile. The one that really sort of started adding the weights to the backpack, as it were. He was in his car. He was compliant. He told the officer that he had his gun and he had a license to carry it. He slowly took it out as he was told to do, and still got shot and killed in front of his girlfriend and his child. And there are still names on the list after him.
Yeah.
it gets to me. I could be any one of those at any point. I could be a statistic. I could be a hashtag. And I'm not grieving for myself. I'm grieving for the others that feel the same way that I do, the ones that feel alone, don't have the support like I do. And it's a lot. So it's I don't know. It's hard to shake that some days. Like Jenny said, it's a rock.
Yeah.
And it's why I generally tend to unplug. I don't really go on Facebook like that anymore. Stop that after 2016.
Yeah.
The Cheeto Puff and his ilk ruined that for me.
The who?
The Cheeto Puff.
Oh, I was like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and I think, and again, I think Channy put it very eloquently, like, I'm not despondent to it, but I curated my social medias and my exposures to them very differently, because it's inevitable to see it talked about and to see it, but I don't need to see the footage, because after George Floyd is what did it for me.
Yeah. After George Floyd, and then after that whole era, we had George Floyd. Black people were dying. We were like, what?
Breonna Taylor.
Oh, right, Breonna Taylor.
It was three of them. It was and Ahmaud Arbery. That all three of those bias, like Jay.
Back to back, yeah.
Jay had to I looked at Jay because at the time we were in quarantine, so me and Jay that was it. We were connected at the hip because we had to be. But I wept. Like I audibly wept, because I'm like, Black people have been dealing with genocide since the beginning of time. However, to see that we are in the big year of 2020 at the time, and Black people are still having to fight just to be equal, was a lot. And the fact that I think of all of the Black men, all of the Black women around me, and me, I wept like I've never wept before, and it was a struggle. And I think what was more disheartening was the fact that we were working for companies who could give a fuck.
Right.
Like, yeah. And my CEO, she was just like, oh, we're in the space of like kids dealing with very harsh things. And we're like, girl, what the is this? What are you saying? Like, kids are dealing with what now? Like, we're literally dealing with a race war, and you're worried about a fucking what? Doing good for our community. What good is it if you're not gonna call a thing a thing? Call it a thing, sis. And I was like, I'm glad there were people who were more professional than I that sent her email and was like, ma'am, what are you talking about? Like, what does this have to do with the 3 killings of 3 Black people who had nothing to do with anything except minding their business? Even if it was over some damn cigarettes or $20 or whatever the fuck George Floyd got killed for, he didn't deserve it. And that's when I was just like, as a community, I think societal grief is difficult because of how much access we have to it now. Like, that man called for his mother, a grown ass 40-year-old man with a knee in his neck for 8 minutes and whatever the seconds were. Because this man decided that he wasn't worth living. There's nothing you can, that if you want me to accept that shit, how? There's no level of acceptance with that. There's no level to it. And we're bargaining with them. We're some of them motherfuckers is in denial that it affects them, because we're not even gonna get to the levels of society and all that other stuff that has people blinded to the fact that you're still Black.
Like those cops in Memphis, yeah. Still fuck them.
It's still heavy on the fuck them. But it's I think, again, the way I look at it, especially for being Black and a Black woman, I didn't ask to be Black, but I am very grateful to be Black. There's a level of tenacity. There's a level of strength, understanding, and different things that we as Black people know of and can't really articulate. You just know, like, if it's Black, it's gonna be good regardless. Okay, if it's Black, it's gonna be as Black as fuck, and it's gonna be what it is. Okay, but we were given a very short end of the stick type of situation, because, and it's weird to me because we taught white people everything they know, but yet we're the subhuman.
A lot. Yeah, a lot.
From spirituality, Christianity, all that shit, from the rooter to the tutor, you were taught everything from a Black person. There might be a few things y'all can take credit for. You can have them. However, Black people are subhuman, yet you bite off every single thing that we've ever done.
Still to this day.
Did y'all? Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a little thing, right? I had to do an evaluation yesterday. Had me at work later than I was supposed to be. I knew by the American flag tattoo on this man's forearm, there was gonna be some aggression.
That's all you had to say.
Correct. Immediately knew.
This man told me, because you know, I'm in the hood. I'm on my job. My office is on the east side. So the child was going to Ocean Way, and originally going to Reebok.
Yep.
At Reebok and Ocean Way. Interesting.
Choices.
So the teacher, he decided to make a comment about the teacher being ghetto teaching English class, saying that if you are supposed to be teaching proper grammar and supposed to be teaching English, you should speak that way. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how my face was. But in my brain, I'm like, he's really comfortable telling a Black woman. And I already know that this is another Black woman.
Oh my God.
I didn't respond. Here's why.
Yeah. Okay.
I was the only one left in the office.
Yep.
And this was a bald-headed, ginger, bearded white man.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
Now,
wasn't in my own space,
right.
so I didn't have anything to like protect myself. But also, professionally, I don't know how to respond to that in a professional manner without me coming out of my code switch.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
didn't code switch yesterday, which is funny. I still was very black. I was black as fuck yesterday.
Okay. Now, quick question.
Yes,
This
sir.
this man is
Mhm.
he a teacher? Like another teacher? He's a parent?
He's a parent.
Okay.
Oh,
Mm. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Him working construction.
Mm. Yeah, that tracks.
And it's so interesting. He's a year older than you, Q.
Mm.
So it's like that's why I said every day we wake up and every day we walk out our doors, we are literally grieving. Literally every single day. Because there's no telling. And for me, it sucks for me because I have to deal with the spawns of those children. I've had at least 3 racist ass little boys.
Mm-hmm.
One of them even tried to talk to me and like sun me,
Mm.
oh wow.
trying to tell me that Black people can be racist. I said, and I even said it to him the same way I would tell it to a grown ass white man. I said, that would imply that Black people have the power to oppress somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
We can be prejudiced as fuck.
Correct.
We can be rude as fuck. But we do not have the systemic power to be racist. We can attempt to oppress how we want to, but what power do we have? Systemically. Not to say we don't have power, because there's a lot of power in Black people.
Yep.
As a force, we are as a collective, we are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and they haven't made any new lakes recently, so our neighborhoods are still around.
Because it's like,
For those of you who don't know, they would
Lake Lanier.
regularly run Black people out of their own towns and then put lakes where they were. Lake Lanier is in fact one of them. And these were never
Or
like
they make them
people
into
running
parks.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Central Park
Central
is
Park.
one. Yep. Yes. Also, Lake Lanier is not the only lake,
That's just the most
wild.
popular because that's a lot of people that be showing up missing.
Mm-hmm. It's because it's haunted now.
Listen, I believe in that shit.
Absolutely. Listen.
I'm not going to Lake Lanier. You ain't got to worry
Haint as
about
fuck. Haint. Yeah, Lake Lanier. Haint.
I'm not going.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to be said. Like I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I already set my appointment with my therapist because I was like, girl, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. I boohoo cried at random the other day. I was driving I was driving from one school. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I had to text my boss. I was like, hey.
Because we died.
I don't even know what it was for.
You got any final remarks on grief? I know Ariel, AJ jumped in. You were saying words.
Channing, that's for you.
If it's okay, yeah, it's all right. If not,
rocks and balloons.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
the
so
episode.
Here's the question.
Rocks and balloons, y'all.
So here's the question. So do you go with Quentin with rocks, or do you go with me with balloons, or does it depend on the situation?
I was about to say,
I'm BPB. What do you think?
That's not a stupid question.
No. Because I was just talking about this the other day. Because of the fact that I have my BPD, one of my issues is the fact that I carry my emotions so heavy. Of course, everything I feel is a rock. Literally, my happiness is a rock to me. If I get too happy, that is a problem.
Right.
Really. Me getting too happy is a danger. Everything is a rock for me.
And
Everything.
sometimes a rock is a balloon, and sometimes those balloons become rocks.
And it's so much that. I often feel like I am nothing but shuffling between rocks. And some balloons, some balloons.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes you carry your rocks on strings in hopes that they float up. Be like that.
But that's just my analogy for it. Rocks. I don't know where I got that from. I don't know that.
I mean, it's fitting.
Yeah,
it's very fitting.
All right.
Is it time?
It's time. We've talked a lot.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so hot in here. Okay. I have to do my dance. It's time for music of the week. Music of the week. Hey, hey. Music of the week. Music of the week. Hey.
I'll go first.
And he was talking about me being delayed.
It's another day. I'm just going with what I'm hearing. Any whoosy fucks it. It is it's another TikTok song. The artist is Jensen McCrae. The song is God is a Hitman. God has a hitman. I'm sorry. God has a hitman. I need her to release the full song because it is so good. Like, she's got that old like country soul voice that makes me very, very happy.
Also, I love that.
Her pen game, crazy. It's psycho. Who's next?
Oh, I picked up my phone to remember the name of my said song. So, damn, there's so many. So again, I had cried at random, and I needed some music to make my day go by so I could stay at my job and not, look like I'm a crazy person. But I was on my Amazon Music because I have to sing, and Kenyon Dixon, you press shuffle on his songs, and you find some gems. And one is, I don't know if y'all remember this poet I used to talk about a lot, Joseph Solomon. He does music, and he has a song out called Black Like You.
Okay.
It's a little acoustic meeting his velvety voice a little bit, and it's like he's whispering a little bit.
We love an acoustic.
We love an acoustic. We love a good. I don't want to say it.
Have you listened to the new Usher song?
Usher had a new song?
Yeah, it's called Glue.
I'd heard about it. That's what it was. I remember now. I remember. Yeah, he do have a new song. I have not heard.
To listen to it.
Yeah, and tell me if it sounds like Usher to you, because it did not sound like Usher to me.
Okay. Like the Usher sound or like his voice?
Yes.
So both. Okay. Okay. Damn, March 17th? Where was I at?
Getting drunk, probably?
No. You know what? I didn't go out last night. I didn't go out St. Patrick's Day either. I was in the house.
Well, look,
I was at work.
For you, I also didn't go out. I went out the next day. Went over to a friend's house the next day.
I ain't go out, period.
All right, Channy.
My song of the week is Novocaine by Frank Ocean because I want to tell y'all a story about what this man did.
Okay.
So y'all remember Coachella, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I heard it did not go well.
I heard it went bad.
Coachella. Okay, so he showed up 2 hours late to his own set.
Oh,
2 hours late. And I was
Come on, Lauren Hill Jr.
That's exactly what I said.
You can't do that at Coachella, though. You can't do that at Coachella. All them white people, I'm sure it was heated.
But that's not all. That's not all. He didn't even perform. He just played a little like CD DJ set of his own music and was like, all right, peace, y'all.
Hey, yo.
Because apparently, because I saw the footage where he said they said they turned the lights off, they shut it down because it was so late.
It was dead. It was dead.
Right.
Them people were
Come on,
pissed.
no. Yeah, no.
People paid good money just to
the little
see
white
that.
ladies were upset. They were mad.
And what's crazy is that people are defending him and people are like, no, but listen. He came out and did what he was paid to do. No, he didn't.
He did
No,
not.
he did not. He
Somebody
sure
told you to come out here and play a CD, sir.
Because they could have did that for the last 2 hours and not
It would have been free.
Right.
It would have been free. But these people came into the desert. I saw how they had to get out there.
Listen, the weather is hot as hell.
It's hot as hell during the day.
Yeah.
Them people was probably freezing by nighttime.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
People had on puffer jackets.
Yeah, that tracks. Wild.
Because it's not quite summertime out there where it feel like the box fan in the window at night.
Oh, sure.
Because in Vegas when we was there in June, at night it was a lot cooler. It was like 70, 60 degrees, but during the day it was 100 and something.
Desert collects the heat. It does not keep the heat very well.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So you in the middle of the desert and you got the nerve to come 2 hours late and then don't show your whole Badussi.
We're going back to
we're
that.
We're done with Badussi. We are done. We are not talking about
Actually, hold on. I'm sorry.
No.
You can say bussy because bussy is a thing that people use. But Jussie is a wild.
First of all, Channy further proved my point when she put the video of Bernie Mac saying Badussi and how to be a player. Okay. All right. So I said what I had said. But the lady that said pusillanimous, I say that. He was supposed to put his whole pusillanimous in it.
Wow.
You just say bussy.
Nope. Pusillanimous.
Bussy is no. It's
pusillanimous, remember, is actually a word that it is something else entirely, completely.
He should have put his whole pusillanimous in it. I told y'all that's gonna be my new word for Booty Cat. Pusillanimous.
Anyway,
so thank you all so much for watching.
Episode.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of Code Switchin Naturally. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell your mom
y'all make it so difficult. All y'all gotta do is like it.
Right,
comment on the thing.
Stop acting like y'all don't want to do.
Say we're not. Listen, we don't bite unless you ask us to very nicely. Consensually.
I don't bite.
I bite. I got good jaws. Huh?
We're done.
I got good jaws. I just don't bite.
I'm sorry. Hold on. We're done because I, said that I bite.
No, it's because we're
gonna people to suck your whole dick, my G. Nah. Thank you. Yeah.
What? Wait.
You were saying?
What the fuck? Okay, well, remember
with the whole season without talking about sucking dick. Thank you.
But did you though?
No.
Because you definitely told people to suck a dick. And you also you be telling niggas to eat a dick, so that's not true. You said that a few times this season. Don't come for him. Don't do
anyway.
him, okay?
Yeah, go find us on Twitter, on Instagram. We got TikTok.
The link is below. Join my Discord. Hang out with me. I'm bored.
Oh, is that still there? You still got that? No shade. I meant that no shade, truly. I need you to know I love you, but like I didn't realize that was still going on. You didn't brought it up in
To me.
my bad. My B. My B, I ain't know. My B. My fault.
Oh shit.
My bad. You good? We good?
My God, today.
Anyway,
is
it's
this
been
right?
another episode of Code Switching. I've been
There you
cheating.
go, we're
Oh,
goodbye.
okay. Press the button, Chatty.